Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about Dsp, WingsOfRedemption, Boogie2988, and Keemstar. That's a weird combination that I didn't think I would ever be talking about, but here we are. So Keemstar offered the three of them to do a podcast where he already had sponsors lined up and $50K as soon as they signed. A great deal. A wonderful deal, right? This podcast was going to be called the Low Cal Podcast, and I'm sure it would have made bank. Okay, these guys are people who don't really have the best reputation, but they have tons of rise and fall videos out there with millions of views, tens of millions of views maybe, about them. So I am sure that if they were to go out there and make this podcast, it would do wonders for their career. Now, because Wings and Boogie have an actual interest in improving their life and improving their careers, they've been working towards stuff like that. They're going to be doing a boxing match, I think, in about 5 days. So yeah, they're definitely, taking steps towards being great. But of course, DSP doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to pull himself up by his bootstraps. And now, while not everyone can do that, people are pulling on his bootstraps, and if he sees somebody pulling on his bootstraps, he'll let go and then drop back down to the floor and then roll back and forth and throw a tantrum and whine and cry that nobody wants to pick him up. He is severely in debt. Like, he complains all the time about being in debt, having a horrible life. If you don't donate enough to his stream, he thinks that the IRS is coming tomorrow to take his house. In fact, he's gotten in tax trouble for not paying his taxes, even though he apparently makes like near 6 figures, but he has to beg almost every stream for $100. So clearly he has a spending problem, right? And even if you have a spending problem, the money that he probably would have gotten from doing this podcast, it would have helped him out at least for a little bit, right? I think personally that this had frenemies potential. Like, this had genuine potential to be a really good podcast. But DSP, just because of his hate for Keemstar, just decided to screw it up. Keemstar really did him a huge favor by offering him this job. And I'm not the biggest Keemstar fan out there, but the truth is that DSP could have really used this. And instead of, working through his problems with Keem and coming to an amicable conclusion, he decided that he wanted to go against Keem and call him a loser and an idiot. And he put out 2 videos asking for the internet's help. We're not going to help you. Anyone who's on your side, DSP, doesn't like Keemstar. They don't like you. You don't have real fans. Not really. You have some fans out there, but most people hate watch you, right? Which is why you were offered to be on a Low Cal podcast. Now, you could be trying to avoid that, due to pride, but people have seen you flick the beam on stream, okay? So you're not really the most respected guy out there, all right? And I know flick the beam's not technically the right euphemism, but it was the first one that came to mind, so we're gonna rock with it. Anyway, people have seen you not be able to figure out how to play a Metal Gear Solid game, despite playing through like 3 of them. And then you get to Metal Gear Solid 3 after playing I think it was 1, 2, and 4, and you have no clue how to play them, because you refuse to learn game mechanics and you just want to ride with one play style and act like every game is Call of Duty, which you're not even good at. Regarding that, let me get out of my tangent and really just think about it for a minute. This is just so stupid for so many reasons. I don't understand how you could walk around and constantly complain about money, and then someone offers you $50,000 to speak for an hour for a week with some guys that you're already willing to speak with. You're like, no, I don't want to do it. No, I'd be willing to do a podcast with the 2 of them, but not with you. That's money that you're leaving on the table. And it's not like he's been super mean to you. he's insulted you to the point of where it would be like genuinely like disgraceful if you hung out with him. That's not the thing, and you're not even hanging out with him. He's your employer, all right, and he's offering you a job for a lot of money that a lot of people would love. I'd love to randomly have $50,000. That's a lot of money. That's great, okay? Now, would I be willing to, degrade myself on the internet for 11 years just to be offered $50,000 at the end of it? No. But, I mean, DSP, you're already there. You've garnered enough of a following, some of it's through hate watching, admittedly, that you can turn it into something genuinely positive for you. You can really turn the tide on your narrative. And instead, you're sitting there deciding to continue looking like a fool and pass up a ton of money just because you don't like the fact that Keemstar is negative towards you. I'll just be honest, 95% of people are going to be negative towards you. So what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, why not make bank? And I don't care, if my coworker or even if my boss just has said some, I didn't like that kind of joke thing. Like, that is not that bad. Obviously, if he's making like deeply insulting remarks, I can get that. I understand that. But that's not what he's doing. Okay, I think even you would agree that that's not what he's doing or what he has done. He's offered you a pretty good position for a really good price, so take it. Do you really think that you're going to get more money on your own? Genuinely? Now, I do think that part of it is that he doesn't want to be employed. I think that's the part that he's leaving out. I don't think that he wants to feel like he's working under anyone, which is funny because he's willing to beg and beg and beg for money. Alright? But he's not willing to work for someone else. Like, yeah, that just seems so odd to me. I don't know. Maybe he's being real when he says that, Keemstar's been so negative to me that I can't abide working with him. If that's true, you just look like an idiot. Pure, plain and simple, man. Like, for all your complaints about money, for you to turn down this much money is genuinely insane. Like, it's just $50K to start out. And with names like you guys, you could be clearing $50K per episode. I know Frenemies was clearing like $100K at their peak. I don't know if they would get to that because I don't think they're as big of a draw as Ethan Klein and Tristan Paytas were. But imagine if you were to grind at it for like a couple months and you were putting out consistently good episodes. Then you'd parlay that into an actual successful career as a podcaster. But no, DSP wants to work for DSP and DSP alone. And that's why he will continue doing what he's doing. He's streaming right now. And I've seen some of his streams and they're not that entertaining. So I really do think that he could have taken this opportunity to do something better for himself at the very least. And he just turned it down just to be stubborn. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you all for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. Goodbye.